Hi there and welcome back to my channel. Today we're going to be doing some yoga for footballers. Yes, so you can use this as a warm-up before football, or you can use it as on your off day when you're not training for football or playing football. So we're going to start off lying down on our backs. So spine nice and flat on the floor, and your feet are on the floor just now. Just feel yourself nice and comfortable on the floor first, hands at your sides, and then what we're going to do is lift our knees into our chest, okay? Just starting to warm up the glutes. You can roll side to side here, just starting to warm the body up, and then pop the feet back on the floor. And today we're going to be concentrating mainly on the lower half, on all the muscles that are stabilising all the joints. So stretching them out, maybe holding poses for a little bit longer as well to access that kind of deeper connective tissue as well. So what we're going to do is come up into bridge pose. So hands by your sides. And what you're going to do is you're going to raise your bottom up in the air, vertebrae by vertebrae, as if you're trying to shoot your knees forward. Now your knees aren't going to come forward that much, but lifting up. Now once you're up, make sure you squeeze your knees in the way, because there's a tendency for them to fall out here. So feet flat on the floor, squeeze those knees in together. You can put a block in there as well, and just concentrate on using your core. Your glutes should be firing up as well, and this is a really good stretch for your hip flexors too. That's it. So staying up, pressing with your feet into the floor, keeping your breathing as well, and trying to breathe through your nose if you can. Nice big deep belly breaths. So we're going to exhale and come back down. Now let's take our right foot and we're going to cross our right ankle over our left knee, okay? We're going to do a reclined pigeon pose. So you've crossed your legs over, now send this right knee back. We're really opening up the hips now, okay? Now you can stay like that, absolutely. Or what you can do is you can lift the bottom foot up and hold on to it. Just see how that feels, or you can hold on to your shin as well. But if your tailbone comes off the floor when you're holding on to your shin or your thigh, just go back down to the floor. So feel it opening up. Try and breathe into that stretch. It's a pretty big hip stretch, that one. And just come and put your left foot back on the ground. Now keep that left knee bent and raise your right foot right up to the ceiling. We're going to do these hamstrings. So press your heel up pretty much as you can, okay? Now your knee might be a wee bit bent, that's fine, just as long as you're sending it away as much as you possibly can. Now while we're up here, as if you're pushing against the ceiling, you're going to point your toe and flex it back, okay? So a bit of pointing and flexing here, feel how that changes things in your shin and your calf. Really simple movements, but really effective, and you can give a wee ankle circle as well, both ways. And then from here, you can stay here if you want to, or what you can do is push into the floor and come up to a one-legged bridge. Now that foot has not changed, the leg is still straight, and you've got to work a wee bit more with your foot up in the air. Keeping your breathing going. This left leg's having to work much harder than it did a minute ago. And then gently coming back down. Brilliant. Lay that right leg out long, left leg out long, give them a wee shake, and we'll do the other side. Okay, so knees into your chest first of all. Nice little stretch. That's it. And then what we're going to do, feet back down on the floor. Remember, we're going to do that bridge. So your feet are about a foot length away from your bum. Don't jam them right up. And we're going to take a nice big deep breath in. That's it. And then the exhale, peel your spine up. Knees forward, tailbone forward, knees coming together. They don't need to be touching. They're a bit hip width apart, but they have a tendency to splay, and that will just weaken everything. So the core's working here, of course. Glutes are working. Lovely big hip flexor stretch as well. And then coming back down. Keep the right leg bent and raise the left leg. Lovely hamstring stretch. Even just doing that is a nice hamstring stretch. So pressing up as much as you can, pointing and flexing the toes, and that really homes in on your shins and your calves, and give a wee circle as well. That's it. just increasing the mobility of these joints. And you can stay here if you want, or you use that right foot and you're going to push in up to a one-legged bridge. Really pushing up with the right foot and really still keeping that left leg flexed. Try and relax your shoulders. Try and keep breathing as well. Easier said than done. That's it. And then come back down and put your foot back in the ground. So now we're going to roll up, okay? So you can just simply hold on to the back of your thighs and roll up and cross your legs, okay? Put your hands on the mat in front of you and come back to a tabletop position. Your hands are nice and splayed. So shoulders are above your wrists, hips are above your knees as well. So from here, we're just going to remember to keep your tummy button pulling back to your spine. So we're still pretty active in this pose. And what you're going to do is you're going to take this right foot, don't change anything else, but take the right foot and point it back. Feel that nice opening in the back of your leg there, and feel how you're nice and aligned. You might have, you know, a dominant leg, or we most have a dominant side of our body, and yoga is really good for balancing everything up. So pointing it back, and then from here you can stay there, or you can lift your heel up so it's nice and aligned with your back, and then you can bring your left hand out as well. That's an option. You can keep it on the mat. Keep your breathing going. Try to keep as equal as possible, pressing through the right hand. That's it. And then coming back down. Now don't put your right foot on the floor because it's going to come through to between your hands. So you're in this sort of position, okay? In that boxy position. Or if you want to, you can just widen the gap between your thighs there. You can put the top of the back foot on the floor, and now we are in a lunge. So feel your hips opening, this hip flexor stretching, the back of this thigh stretching, and feel your hips dropping. And if you can, come up, push your fingertips up to the ceiling. Make sure that knee's not going in front of the foot, ideally above the ankle, but really, really stretch up and let those hips drop as much as you can, okay? Pushing up. If you want to, you can tuck that back foot and straighten the back leg as well. Just an option, you don't need to. So from here, put your hands on the floor. Then we're going to take this right foot that's in front here and shift it back to a downward dog. So, downward dog, feet and are hip width apart and hands are shoulder width apart. Now pedal it out with your feet. Feel the super stretch on your calf, on your hamstrings, on your glutes, your arms, everything. This really does work on absolutely everything. Now, you don't have to have your legs absolutely straight or your heels to the floor. This is perfectly okay for downward dog. That's absolutely fine. Rather than having your legs straight and sort of your back hunched over like that. So try and push your chest back and towards the floor. And then you're going to come down onto your knees again, ready to do the other side. So this time we're going to do the left hand side. So left foot comes back and points. And you're pointing it so that you can feel it on the back of your leg, okay? And it's also a bit of an exercise in keeping even. Just keeping that balance going, a really simple movement. And then we're going to lift the back of the heel up if you want to. And you can also join in that right hand. Really, really good for your balance, this one. Okay, keep your breathing going. Breathing through your nose. Coming back down, and you're not putting this left foot down, you're going to bring it through, and even doing that can be quite a big stretch. So if you don't get it through in the first time, that's fine. So you can stay in this sort of position, nice boxy position, or move the front foot forward or the back knee back, just whatever you've got room for, until it's a stretch that suits you. So you can be down on your hands like this, dropping the pelvis, or you can come up. But if you are going to come up, make sure that tailbone's dropping. Make sure the fingertips are pushing up to the ceiling, really stretching. And again, the option, if you want to, straighten the back leg. But all you're doing straightening the back leg, you're not moving your hips in any direction. Everything stays the same. So hands back to the floor again. And then you're in one nice graceful movement. You're going to take that left foot back to downward dog. Pedal it out again if you want to. You're looking towards the back of the mat or up towards your tummy button. And you're wrapping your shoulders round as well, feeling that super big stretch up the back of your thighs. Then we're going to walk towards our hands. Keep your hands on the mat, okay? Bend your knees if you need to. You don't need to come up with straight legs. Feet are hip width apart, and what you're going to do is just slowly roll up. Make it so that your back's having to work a little bit harder. It is about coming up nice and slow so we don't get dizzy, but it's also about sort of just isolating the vertebrae in the spine and coming up really, really nice and slowly. So what we're going to do is we're going to stand with our feet hip width apart, hands in prayer position. If you want to, you can put your hands on your hips if that's a little bit easier. And you're just going to raise your right knee up. Now, raise it as much as you can, okay? I'll show you from the side, because even just balancing in one foot can be quite challenging. That's it. And when you're up here, give your foot a wee rotation both ways. And then from here, we're going to come into tree pose, okay? Now, 3 options here. You can either put the heel kind of across the top of your foot like this, as long as that knee is pointing out. So we're not having our knee forward. It's nice and aligned with your body. So that's option 1. Option 2 is your calf. Knee is still pointing out and this leg's nice and straight. Or you can come up to the top of your thigh, use your hand to help you. Press that foot right against your thigh there. That's it. Knee is still out to the side. Focus on something on the floor. It doesn't matter which variation you go for. Okay. Nice and relaxed. Strengthening that left leg and opening up the right hip. Lovely. So coming back down, give your legs just a wee shake and we'll do it on the other side. So, hands in prayer position or on your hips, lift up so that you feel the stretch in your glute and that hip flexor's getting involved as well. And then from here, if you want to do it seamlessly, you're going to circle your foot first, just a couple of goes in each direction, and then you can seamlessly come round to tree. Remember that knee, okay? Your foot might be in position 1, position 2, or right up in position 3. As long as you're pushing that foot against your thigh and your thigh against the foot, the force will keep you there a little bit longer. So just focusing your gaze, relaxing your shoulders, and try not to scrunch your toes into your mat. If you're struggling to stand, you can always hold on as well. Try it without holding on. Lovely. So coming back down, give your legs a shake. Our feet are going to come out wider than our hips, probably just less than a leg length apart, and our feet are at 10 to 2, and we're going to squat down. So normally the rules with any squat is your weight's coming back. None of that changes, and your knees should never be in front of your toes. So hands in prayer position or hips, up to you, and coming down, weight is back, and just come down as far as is comfortable for you and put your hands on the inside. Now you can have a wee sort of wriggle about here. See how your knees feel, how your hips feel. It just can feel really nice to do this, but keep dropping the hips, whatever you do. And then from here, what we're going to do, drop our left shoulder down, not moving the hips. We're just dropping that left shoulder down, feeling a lovely big stretch on our back. Coming up to the middle and doing the other side. But as long as the shoulder is leading and as long as your legs haven't really moved, that's it. And then coming back to the middle, you can put your hands on your hips or prayer position. We're going to lift the heels, okay? So lift the heels up. Get those calves involved. Balance can be an issue here, so don't be tempted to pitch forward. You've really got to concentrate on keeping that weight back. That's it. Then heels down and push in, nice and strong up, and turn your feet so that they're pointing straight on, okay? Feet are about leg length apart now, okay? Hands on your hips. Inhale, lengthen your spine towards the ceiling. Forward fold, okay? Hinge at the hips. Knees can be a little bit bent if your hands come to the floor. Wonderful. They might come to your legs if they're not quite at the floor. If they're on the floor, inhale, lengthen your spine forward, and then exhale, fold. And on a big exhale, that's when you should fold over, because you're emptying out your lungs as well. But keep breathing. When we're down here, feel that super duper big stretch up the back of your legs. Nothing should be painful. That's it. And then inhale, straighten your arms. Exhale, hands onto your hips. And then inhale, push through the feet. And then you're just going to either step your feet together or zigzag them in. So that's you, short and sweet routine for either warming up for football, a cool down, would be particularly nice as a cool down, or on your rest days. Really, really nice to get all those joints mobilised. We have concentrated on the lower half of the body, and you'll find that it does align you a lot better, improving your balance and your strength and flexibility and all these other things that sometimes you can't always get in the gym or on the football pitch either. So please like and subscribe to the channel, and there's loads of other videos as well focusing on different body areas and that sort of thing. So if you've any requests, any questions, please give me a message, but I'll see you later on.